I'm Mark Bell, and thanks for joining me on yet another 10-minute walk that'll probably turn into a half-an-hour promo. What I wanted to talk about today is, something that you do when you're a child. When you're a kid, you don't have any problem with this idea of make-believe. You make stuff up. You have a make-believe friend, or at least I did. I don't know about you guys. I might have had a couple make-believe friends, and no real friends even, maybe. You make believe, it makes things more fun. You make stuff up. You grab a stick and you pretend it's a gun, or whatever it is you might do when you're a child. You just have a wild imagination. But what I want to tell you is this idea of make believe, it's not a joke. It's not something to laugh about. It's not something to snicker at. It's not something to take lightly. I think that one of life's one of the magical powers that you can acquire in life is this idea of make-believe. This idea of make others believe. Show people that you know what the you're doing. Physically show them. I had the idea for the slingshot for a long time, and I've told you guys the story many times of how it happened. I was putting a t-shirt on one day, and I put it up both arms before I put it up over my head, and when it was up over both arms and it was across my chest, I pulled my arms back and I was like, I think there's something here. That idea sat dormant for a long time until my oldest brother died, and I recognized how short life is, and that I'm going to do the world a disservice if I don't get this idea out, and if I don't show people what I got, and I don't share this with people. I wouldn't be sharing this with you guys right now if that didn't happen. It changed my life forever. Financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, every which way you can think of. It changed everything. It was one idea, one concept. When I look back at that time, and people have asked me now, they'll say, what was that time like? Did people believe in you? Was there people behind you, by your side? Was your wife by your side? Was this person by your side? And my answer, I used to say no, but now I recognize that actually is not true. My wife 100% has always been by my side. I don't know what it's like to be a female. I'm going to speak from the male perspective. Guys, you got to man up, and you have to show your woman that you know what you're doing, and you have to make them believe in you. You have to show them evidence. You have to show them proof that you know what's going on, that you know what you're doing. My wife has always believed in me on a greater scale than I can possibly explain in this video. Did she believe that this invention, this hunch that I had, this idea that I had that would support your elbows during bench press, push-ups, and dips, that would help change things forever for us? No, I don't think she dreamt that up, right? However, I made her believe in it. I forced her to believe in it because I actually went through with the process. I had this idea in my head. I had this concept in my head, and I knew that I need to get allies. I need to get people on my side.
Today, I'm not only going to bench press with the slingshot, but I'm going to be bench pressing with Ed Cohn.
But one of the reasons why the slingshot laid dormant for a couple of years was because I couldn't make people believe in it. I couldn't play make-believe. I couldn't say I'm going to make believe that I'm an inventor. Because people didn't believe in me, I didn't have enough confidence to actually go out and do it. I went to 3 different companies. They all shut me down. I went to a friend who's got money. He thought it was dumb. Each person thought it was dumb. Each person thought it was stupid. I'm the guy that has always thought I was dumb to that point in my life. And so I was like, well, it just gets thrown into the category of all the other dumb ideas I've ever had. And they're probably right. I'm not an inventor. I'm nobody, I don't have any personal training certificates. I'm not certified in strength and conditioning. I've lifted some heavy weights, but it made me when I was told that the idea was bad, it made me believe. I was playing make-believe that I was dumb. And you see how dangerous this can be. I didn't have the skill set then to know that I have a lot of agency and a lot of control over how I think. I didn't know a lot of that stuff then. Had I known that, maybe the process would have went a little bit fast. But here's the thing that I do know. It was important to embrace my fears and to follow through with my dreams. Embrace your fears, follow through with your dreams. Think about, that sounds kind of simple. Embrace your fears. All right, there's some shit I'm kind of scared of. I'm scared to make this leap. I don't know what it's going to look like if I try to make this product that people are saying is dumb. But I'm going to embrace that fear, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to do it anyway. Let me just see what happens. How much could it possibly cost to sew these knee wrap things together and have a thing that's springy for your chest? Like, how much could it possibly be? $5, $10, $100, $500? Like, I don't know. Why don't I just find out? Why don't I just ask? So I did. You know, I just started to figure it out. I took knee wraps that I had myself. I had a friend sew the thing together. My wife's friend that sews together swimsuits. She did that for me. I tested it out, and I made a believer of myself that day. I took the product. I met her at Starbucks in Woodland. I walked into the Fitness 19 that was there at the time, just a few hundred feet away. Tried 135, tried 225. The weights were slingshotting off my chest. I got up off the bench, head to toe, goosebumps. And there was one side of me that said, motherfucker, I told you so. There was one, I'm getting goosebumps right now, my hair's standing up. There was one side of me that said, motherfucker, I told you so. You're not dumb. You can make this kind of stuff. You can do this. You can be an inventor. You can help change the world in some small way, right? And I was so excited, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show this to everybody. And I went out and I started to show people. And I made them believe. I made them believers. One by one push-up after one push-up, or one bench press after one bench press, while wearing the slingshot. I've never had anybody throw on a slingshot, hand it back to me and say, hey, that didn't work. All the trade shows I've been to, all the different places I've been to where I've given people the product, and I'm a pretty big guy, so maybe there's other reasons why, right? I've had people flat out tell me, hey, I didn't really like it. That wasn't for me. But if I gotta tell you, that's just their opinion, right? That's just them saying it's not for them. I don't have any control over that. But they felt it. Most of the time, most of the people get up off the bench and they're like, holy, especially at a trade show. They can't believe what it does for them. Because a trade show is full of a lot of supplements, and it's full of a lot of other products that you don't really feel right then and there. Maybe a pre-workout takes 20 minutes or something, right? But like, for the most part, the protein, the aminos, the essential amino acids, the branched chain amino acids, the carbohydrate powders, or whatever it is, you don't all of a sudden feel bigger or stronger immediately. The second you put on a slingshot, there's nothing like it. It's been amazing to make a product that people love and that people now believe in. But I had to make them believe in it. And the way that I did it was through making the product. Embrace your fears, follow through with your dreams. People have come back from torn rotator cuffs, tricep elbow surgeries, tendonitis, torn pecs, all kinds of stuff. And they've been able to still continue to train. On top of that, it just allows people to connect, to stay connected to what they truly love, which is lifting weights. I've had people come up to me at trade shows in tears, and they're like, hey man, I just want to give you a hug because this product is awesome. I'm so glad that you invented this because I can still bench press. Might sound silly to some, but for some people that's cycling. For some people that's rock climbing. For some people that's running. For some of us it's bench pressing. It's what we love to do. And when it gets taken away from us, it makes you feel like crap. It makes you really sad. So I took a leap, right? It's your job. As a human being, it's your job to make people believers. Make them believe in what you got. Make them believe in what you can do. Why are you sitting there right now? Why are you just sitting there like hoping that someone's gonna pick you up for a job, or someone's gonna, ask you to go do something with them? It ain't ever gonna, hey! It's Jessica Smith, everybody.
Hello.
10-minute walk. There we go. There's another example of a believer. She believes in a 10-minute walk, so she's out there getting it. She's lost like 60 pounds. Not just from doing 10-minute walks, but being a believer that she can take control over her own life. Once I actually made a product, once I had a prototype, it was that much easier for me to recruit people. and make believe and make them believers. Once I had a product made, I could physically show my wife what was in my head for so long. I could physically show her what I've been talking about for such a long time. I took the product. I said, babe, this is what I've been talking about forever, right? This is it. This is the Slingshot. I'm trying it out in the gym. I'm testing it out. She's like, well, what are other people saying about it? They absolutely love it. They're starting to use it in every training session. A couple guys are already hitting PRs with the Slingshot, and get this, some people are even hitting lifts that they never made before without having the Slingshot on, because they've been using the Slingshot for a few weeks to get over their fear of benching 3 plates. They bench 3 plates with the Slingshot on. They feel themselves be able to do that. A few weeks later, a little bit more training, they go to handle those 3 plates again. They're not intimidated. Bam, they nail the weight. Once I started to describe some of that to her, she was like, well, shit, we got to get this figured out. And that's what her and I have been working on ever since, and we've been going at it for 10 years. 10 years strong, multi-million-dollar business, right? But what if you have $1 million idea inside you right now? Or what if you just have $1 million spirit, $1 million heart, and you can share stuff with people, or you can encourage people to help improve their life and help add value to their life? It's not always going to be about the actual dollar amount. It's not always going to be about the actual money. I got a little bit lucky because the product that I made happened to provide value directly to consumers, and it worked out the way that it did. And then I got my amazing wife, who has a business degree, to help me with a lot of that stuff, since I don't know anything about half of the other side of business. Embrace your fears and follow through with the dream. Like, follow through. That's what people are lacking. I hear a lot of people right now complaining that there's not a lot of good leaders. There's nobody's leading us. Well, what are you waiting for? Take action yourself. That's the best thing you can do. For any American citizen waiting for the president or waiting for a new president, people are waiting for things to be over with, or for things to stop, or they're waiting for a leader to descend from the clouds and to come down and help us all and to lead us to the right spot. It's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. It's your responsibility. Take full ownership of it. And you can do that by taking steps forward. Small steps every day. Small incremental steps will lead to your success. When you're a success, you can help other people around you be a success. I have 16 people that are full-time employees for me. I have a massive impact on their lives. They're people that are closest to me. Because I have the time, I have the energy to pump out more videos than you've ever seen in the history of fitness. There's thousands of videos. Go ahead and try to contend anybody else against me. I will crush them. We have thousands of videos scattered throughout YouTube. No one's been able to keep up. We've been doing this for over a decade, 12, 13 years, something like that. We've been cranking. But the reason why we've been cranking like this is because I took a chance. I recognized that in the obstacles that were in my way, that there was a ton of opportunity. And I took those opportunities. I was able to turn it into something. What I'm trying to explain to you right now is that you can do all that. You can be a leader. What if people are waiting around for someone to be a leader and you're actually one of them? You ever see Terminator? Remember they go to John Connor and they tell him, you're going to save the world. He's like, yeah, right. What if that's you? What if you're the person right now saying, yeah, right, me? It could be you. It should be you. It can be you, and it will be you if you listen to what the hell I'm trying to tell you here. Because I think that people view me as a leader. And I don't even think I'm worth anything to really follow, even at the moment. But it feels good to hear people say that. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go back to what I said in the beginning. We're playing a giant game of make-believe. It's not enough for you to believe in it. You need other people to believe in it. You need other people to believe in the things you're saying. You need people to be allies. You need people to be on your side. If you're depressed right now and you have anxiety, you don't feel good about yourself, now is a great time to take action. Now is a great time to get some movement going, get some momentum going, get some inertia, get an initial movement going show people, make people believers in you. I've had friends that are married that ask me, like, how do I get my lady to like believe in me more? Not trust. Trust is that's a different ball game. It's a different video. How do I get them to believe in me a little bit more? I have this thing I really want to do, but they're telling me I got to keep, I got to keep my normal job because we got to keep those checks coming in the mail. I get it. And I've been there. I lived it. The only way you're going to be able to make them believers or make the people closest to you in your life, a lot of times the people that are closest to you in your life are the last people to believe in you. Think about that. Think about your grandma, your grandpa, your aunt, your uncle. They're like, they don't even understand what you're trying to do. Too much of a maybe generational gap, but you have to make them a believer. For me, the way it worked for me was to physically actually make a product. Maybe for you, it's that you physically actually write a book. Maybe for you, it's that you actually physically start a podcast. Maybe for you, it's that you actually start to embrace and you start to do the thing you've been talking about for a long time. Remember, what I talk about often is, who are people that talk about things that they'll never do? We're on page 43, right? Everybody? You should have said the answer already. Cowards. Cowards talk about what they'll never do. Nobody's going to follow a coward. Nobody's going to follow a weenie. Nobody's going to follow someone who's wishy-washy. It has to be clear. It has to be concise that you're the man. I want you to think about this a little bit more. Embrace your fears. What are you scared of? Are you scared of losing? Or even worse, I think in some cases, being scared of losing sounds fairly logical to me. But I think some people are scared to win. Because what happens when you come out on the other side and you actually have a victory? That means that you have to keep going with it. People ask me a lot of business questions, and man, the hardest part is not in getting started. That is not the hardest part, although that is difficult. The hardest part is to sustain it, maintain it, grow it, make it larger, make it grow, make it excel. Those are the hardest things, because that takes so much energy, and it's after you already started something. Think about when you're working out and you do a lot of reps on something. When you did 5 sets of something else, 5 sets of something else, 5 sets of something else, if you did 10 reps on each one of those things that you did, by the time you get to that 4th or 5th movement, how much energy do you have left for it? That's what it's like to run a business. You feel like that all the time. You feel burnt out. You got all the blood in your muscle already, and it's hard to gather any strength. But innovation, creation, embracing your fears, continuing to chase down what you want, continuing to work on being just a little bit better than you were yesterday. That's all the time we got. Strength is never a weakness. Weakness is never a strength. In the comments below, let me know what you've done to help make people believe in you. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you all later.